Hello boys and girls, good afternoon and welcome to Critical English for Grade 8. Today we're looking at verbs. However, before we begin today's lesson, we are going to play a game. This game is called Who Am I? Now, this game is so that I can know who you are and you can learn who I am. Sounds fun? Yes? All right, good. Now listen to how this game is going to go. We are going to use adjectives to describe ourselves. We know what adjectives are, yes? Yes. Good. So we're going to use an adjective beginning with the first letter of our names. All right? Is that clear? Yes. Good. So we're going to use the first letter of our name, an adjective, and then we're going to say one thing about ourselves that is interesting. Sounds fun? Everybody is interesting, yes? Yes. Somebody looks like they're not interesting. All right, so I will begin. I am talented to make a Wilson Jerrick and I enjoy sleeping. Should we go around? Let's go with you.
I am amazing Alia and I love to draw.
To draw. Amazing, Alia. Thank you, Alia.
Hi, my name is Jacoby.
That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Joyful Jacoby and I like to play.
Joyful Jacoby who likes to play. Let's go to you, sir.
I'm Shai Shamar and I like to play sports.
Shai Shamar who loves to play sports. So, by the end of this lesson, Shai Shamar wouldn't be so shy anymore. Yes?
Yes, miss.
All right. Going on.
I am Nosy Nikea and I like track.
Nosy Nikea and you like?
Track.
Track. You're an athlete. Yes. And the final person for today?
Hi, I'm Little Lashmi and I love to draw and read.
Little Lakshmi loves to draw, so we have two artists in the room. Yes? Good. So we looked at adjectives. Now, do you know any other part of speech? Anyone?
Adverbs.
Okay, so I'm going to put them on the board. And what are the the parts of speech that you know?
No.
All right, so we have adjectives because we just did that. Now we have what?
No.
Nouns, yes. Pronouns. Anything else? Verbs, yes. Adverbs. Conjunctions. Anything else? Anything else?
Adjective.
Adjectives, we have adjective. Something that tells us the position of things. Like on the table, below the table. Pardon? Prepositions. Anything else? Anything else? All right, so we'll stop there for today. So here is what. What do you think we're going to do today? So I'm going to do something and you'll tell me what you think we're going to do today. What part of speech do you think we're going to do today? Verbs. Why? Because I did an action. So that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this off and we're going to leave the word verb here. And like you said, verbs are action words. Now, do you know any action words? Yes. Pardon?
Run.
Run. Yes.
Swimming.
Swimming. Yes. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Jumping.
Jumping. Jacoby says jumping. Dancing. Anyone else? Going again. Yes. Talking. So these are all action verbs. But are verbs only action? Yes, no. What about thinking? Is that an action? Is that something we can see? No, but it is an action, isn't that so? Yes, so we have, when we look at verbs, they can be physical movement, all right, or we can have verbs that are mental, what do I have? Mental activity, such as thinking, all right? Because when we're thinking, we're doing something, isn't that so? Our brains, it's working, isn't that so? In order for us to answer, we have to think, all right? So we have verbs are actions, and this refers to physical movement, or they can also refer to mental activities, such as thinking. Are we clear?
Yes.
All right, so let's get to some exercise. Do you like doing exercise? All right, so the first activity is, because you're in two groups, I'm going to give you a group of words, and what you're going to do is you're going to arrange them into a sentence. All right? So you have a second, working in your group, working in your pair. Let's see which pair can get it done first. Yes. Somebody is done. Yes! So they have it. What do you have? Katie eats her lunch. So that's sentence one. Sentence two is Terry ran upstairs. All right, so someone from this group will tell me what the verb is in the first sentence. Yes?
Eating.
Eating? Do we have eating on the board?
Eats.
Eats. So the verb is eats because it tells us what?
What Katie's doing.
It tells us what Katie, the subject, is doing. And in the second sentence, ran, because it's telling us what Terry did, right? Past tense, what Terry did. All right? So do we understand this? Can we try some exercise now? Yes? All right, good. So I'm going to put the exercise on the board. And then we're going to see how much of verbs we understand on a regular verb lesson. So, get your pencils out, because we don't want to take too long with this activity. And everybody's got their pencil, and we've got our work pads, and we will go. The instruction says, instruction, identify the verbs in the given sentence. Sentences. Yes. Can you understand the way I'm writing? Is it clear?
Yes.
Everybody is okay? Everybody understands cursive? Because I know there are some secondary students who don't understand cursive. So the first one says, James throws the ball and laughs with his friends after he falls trying to catch it. Full stop. So I'm giving you 3 sentences. My friend is always always the first to reply to my invitation. Requests. And finally, make sure to return your roller skates before you go home. All right. So let's go through them together and see if we can identify the verb. Who wants to go first? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody wants to go? I'm hurt. All right, let's hear you.
James throws the ball and laughs with his friends after he falls trying to catch it.
All right, so you've read the sentence for us, but you haven't identified the verb. So identify the verb by saying what the verb is in the sentence. And if there are more than one verbs, you say that there are more than one verbs. Yes?
The verbs are throws,
Throws. Let me do it with a red pen. Yeah. So we have throws. Yes.
laughs,
Laughs.
fall,
Pardon?
falls.
Falls. Anyone else has anything different? No? And is this correct?
Yeah.
Yes? Why?
Trying,
Hmm?
Trying.
Trying to catch it? Hmm?
trying,
Trying to catch it. It's also a verb. All right? Trying to catch it. So we have throws. What is he doing? Throw is an action, yes? An action. Laughs, it's an action. And we looked at action just now, something that we can do. Falls, trying to catch. Trying to catch. That's a different type of verb, and we're going to come to that type of verb in a bit. All right? Good. What about the sentence? Sentence 2. Do we have any verb in sentence 2?
Huh?
Any
Oh,
verbs in sentence 2?
Yeah.
first reply,
First to reply. To reply. Anything else? No? Are you sure?
Always.
Always? Not necessarily. Always, yes. Always can work. Always is a verb, indeed. But anything else?
request,
Request? No. To my invitation request. Anything else?
Invitation.
Invitation is what kind of thing? It's a thing, isn't that so? Yeah, which makes it a what?
noun,
A noun. Good. Look at the word is. Did you see that? Is indeed a verb. All right? And we're going to talk about what kind of verb is, always, and trying to catch are. Okay? We're going to look at that later in the lesson. All right. Next sentence. Make sure to return your roller skates before you go home. Any verbs here?
Rollers. Return.
Return. Make sure to return. Yes. Anything else?
Go.
Go. Yeah.
Go. Yes. Go. So these are verbs. Now we notice. What did we notice? when we spoke about verbs earlier, we said that it is what? An action, isn't that so? Something as a physical movement. We also spoke about it being a mental action, right? Or a mental activity. Yes? Good. But when we look at when we look at trying to catch, these don't necessarily fall into the category that we're looking at. Is this an action or physical activity? No. Is it a mental activity? No, it's something else. Yes? So now we're going to look at 3 types of verbs. All right? So I'm going to take these off. Everybody good? My apologies. We good? Writing? Yeah? No? So I'm going to take off up to where you are. Can I take off the first one?
Yeah.
All right. So we're taking off the first one. All right, good. Where are you? I'm Lakshmi.
Always at the first to reply.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to look at next is types of verbs. And the 3 types of verbs that we're going to look at this afternoon, we're going to focus on action verb. And we sort of spent a lot of time, I think we understand this a little bit more than the others, yeah?
Yes.
And then we're going to look at linking verbs. And then finally, we're going to look at helping verbs. All right? Yes? So, when we talk about, can we take off now, Lakshmi? Yes. So let me put these in the corner here so that we remember them. Action, linking, helping, and all we're talking about verbs, yes? Good. So let's take this off. And we can begin to talk about action verb. Now, when we are looking at action verbs, we are talking about what someone or something does. What are we talking about? Someone or something does. All right? And this refers to physical movement. So we're looking for physical movement or mental action. And we spoke about this earlier, yes? Mental. Oh, where did I leave mental? Let me put it at the top here. Mental actions. All right? And when we look at physical movements and mental action, we are talking about nouns when we read, write, or speak. When we do what? Read, write, or speak. Let's look at an example. Example. The boy threw the football. All right, so let's look at the sentence here. Who is the person or the noun?
The boy.
The boy. So this is the person, noun, or what's another thing that we can refer to this as? We're stepping out from verbs now. We're looking at sentences.
No.
The subject. Beautiful. So we have the subject. And the subject does something to the football. And the football in this case is a what? It's a thing Or if we're doing the opposite of subject, we would get predicate, not necessarily, the object. So we have object, and we are left with the what? The physical what? Movement, which tells us about the action. So we have physical movement, and we have the verb. So we're able to identify the verb. Yes? Because let's see if we can do the action. If we are going to throw, we're going to stand right here and not move. Yes? If we're going to throw the football, we're just going to stand here and not move. No? What are we going to do? Anybody is a footballer, enjoys playing football?
We're going to run to like the mother.
So if let's say we're on the sidelines, we're going to do what? Throw. So we're indicating a physical movement. Yes? So this word is an action verb because we have to do some kind of physical movement. Making sense?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to give you 2 exercises. Do you need me to take this off, or can I leave this here? Anyone? We can take it off so we understand the exercise.
I'm writing.
You're writing. All right. So I'll put the exercise to the bottom here. Exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to identify the action verb. Identify the action verbs in the sentences below. Now, usually I give stickers, but I forgot my stickers today. So everybody that gets theirs correct, I'm going to give you stickers when I see you again. All right? Some people are looking at me. I don't tell lies. The baby. Let me make sure it's written properly. The baby drank the bottle of milk. All right, so here is what we're going to do. We're going to have the 2 sentences, and I'm going to leave some space. The superhero caught the robber and put him in jail. All right, so for this exercise, I am going to invite one of you. Yay! Somebody is brave. Just put her pencil and down and ready to come, yes? Miss Alia? No, Alia doesn't want to come. Shai Shamar, are you going to come? All right, so come Shamar. So what you're going to do is that we're going to follow the same procedure that we did up here. We're going to identify the person or the noun or the subject, and the subject is what does the action of the verb. Following everyone? We're going to identify the verb, and then we're going to identify the object of that verb. Sounds like you can manage that? All right, so let's see what Shamar does. And we are listening and looking because we are going to determine whether Shamar is going to get a sticker. Sounds fun?
Yeah.
All right, good.
The person right here.
Okay.
First I put the noun, then the verb.
Yes, yes. So this is what?
The noun.
The noun or the
The subject.
subject. So write it to the bottom. And then we have what?
Object.
The object. So what's the object? So, and then what else are we left with? The verb, drank. And so what's happening with they? No, we don't know. What's happening with they? They is a part of
The bottle.
the bottle. So we have, thank you, Shamar, the bottle. All right. And then we have the verb. All right. So we're almost out of time. So let's do the last one quickly. So what are we looking at here? The superhero. What is the action verb? Caught. Any other action verb? Put, yes, there's another verb. So these are verbs that have what? Physical movement, because I can catch Alia and I can put the pen on the desk. All right? So with that said, we've looked at action verb. And what are we talking about when we talk about action verb? Physical or mental action. And so it also speaks to someone or something does. What someone or something does. And that is the question that we ask here. Who drank the bottle of milk? The baby, right? Who caught the robber? The superhero. All right, so we find a subject and then we say, in order for us to find a verb, what did the baby do? Drank the bottle of milk. All right, so let us see. So we've come to the end of our lesson, ladies and gentlemen, in the viewing world, and boys and girls in the classroom. So let us look at what we've learned. We've learned two things today, yes? We've learned what a verb is. And what is a verb? Is an action verb, but it's an action word. But we also have action verbs. An action verb tells us what something or someone does. All right? So for the next class, we're going to look at two other types of verbs. We're going to look at linking verbs and we're going to look at helping verbs. So you can do some homework, do some research, and I will see you when we come again. Stay tuned for the next class, which is math. Thank you and have a good day. Yeah, by the way.
afternoon, students, and welcome to Critical Mathematics. And for this afternoon, I would like you to relax, be calm, and just enjoy the session for this afternoon. So, first thing I would like us to do, close our eyes. Close our eyes. I'll tell you when to open. Not yet. Open your eyes. Look on the board. Tell me what you see.
Numbers.
You see numbers. Only numbers?
Positive and negative numbers.
Pardon me?
Positive and negative numbers.
Positive and negative numbers. And you see me in front here too. So I am Miss Stewart, your math teacher for this afternoon. So for this afternoon, as you said, you are seeing numbers. Positive and negative numbers. What else about the positive and negative numbers? What else you can say about these numbers?
Subtraction sign.
They're okay, same negative. What else? Nothing?
Odd and even numbers.
Odd and even. What about they have large numbers and they have small numbers? Don't you see that?
Yes, miss.
Okay. All right. So as I said, for this afternoon, as we use the numbers, we are looking at directed numbers. Please open your folders. And can somebody please tell me what is a directed number?
Directed numbers are numbers which have a direction on the side.
Could you speak louder?
Directed numbers are numbers which have a direction on the side.
So as she would have said, directed numbers are numbers that have
A direction on the side.
direction and a size. Direction is basically saying if it's going left or right, or positive or negative. And the size would be the size of the number. It's either large numbers or small numbers. Now, all the negative numbers would be the smaller numbers. Yes. Okay, no problem. Two you have to have here. Right, so don't worry about that. When we read that, we will look at that. Okay? So what are the directed numbers, everybody?
Directed numbers are numbers which have a direction and a size.
And what do we mean by the direction? If it's a negative or a positive, that, and we normally say if it's going left or right on the board. If you look at your number line, that you have, your negative numbers would be going to your left. So put out your left hand. Put out your left hand, the left side. That would be the direction of your negative numbers. And put out your right hand. Put it out. And that would be the direction of the positive numbers. So if you just remember, to your right, you have the negative numbers. And to your left, you have the positive numbers. Am I correct? Yes. I am?
No, miss. No, miss. No, miss. No.
Why I'm not correct?
Miss, on your right, you have the
Negative numbers, and on my left, I have the
positive.
And is that correct? No. So on your right, you have the positive numbers, and on your left, you have the negative numbers. So you always have to remember that. Now, one thing. Don't you think in life mathematics is life? Huh? Everything that you do, don't it involve mathematics?
Yes, miss.
Give me an example.
Counting your money.
Counting your money. Very well, and a lot of us like to do that, right? Count our money. What else?
Miss, buying fruits or stuff.
Buying fruits. Okay, anything else?
Like checking up your bills.
Checking your bills. Everything is involved in money. What else?
Counting change.
Counting your change. What about knowing your age?
Counting how much trees it has.
Counting how many trees. What about checking your time? What about counting to see how far you have to walk, how many steps you have to make, what time you have to wake up to prepare for school, right? So everything in mathematics is a part of your everyday life. So nobody should have a problem with mathematics. Agree?
Yes, miss.
Sure? So, as we go along for today's session, what we're dealing with? Directed numbers. So let's use the board, and we will start with the number line. The colorful one, use that number line. So I'll place the number line on the board. And to my right is positive numbers in order of how you count. Agree?
Yes, yes.
And on your left, the left is negative numbers. I'm going to tell you something about negative numbers later on. Good. So let's take an example to know how we can use our directed numbers by adding and subtracting them. Right? So we addition and subtraction of directed numbers. Somebody give me a number.
2.
2. Thank you. So I'm here. So I would like to use 2. Somebody else give me a number?
Yes.
Give me an operation first. You know we have the basic operation, the addition and the subtraction that we are doing. Give me the operation. 2 plus. Good. So we're at 2 here. We're starting from 0, so we go to 2. And we want, what did you say?
Negative 8.
You want to add negative 8. You want to add negative 8. So because we're at 2 and we're adding a negative 8, do you think we can just go from 2 and add 8? Huh? Why not? Because it will be positive, because it's growing and it's getting larger. Agree? So we want to add a negative. So because we want to add a negative, we will go backwards. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay, let's try. So we're at 2. And we're going to go how many times backwards?
8.
So we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we need one more. 8. Agree?
Yes.
So we're at 2. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So where did we land? At?
-6.
So we can say 2 plus -8 is equal to -6. Do we agree?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure? Do we understand? We start with our positive 2 because we don't see the sign positive, but there is an invisible positive sign there, right? So we have positive 2 plus -8. So because it's negative, we need to go backwards. Let me give you one. 5 plus -2. Take your number line. Take your number line and your pencil, and you give me the answer for that. 5 plus -2. Look on your number line for your 5. Every stroke on your number line will represent 1. Right? So where do we start on the number line? At what point? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we go positive this way?
Yes.
We going positive this way?
No.
Okay, so where do we start? Do we start at 0?
Yes.
Because at anything you start from 0, right? So what is the first number we want? We're adding positive 5. So we're here. And what we want? -2. Do I go forward? Sure? Where do I go? And that is to your right. So we must remember our left and our right, which our left is backwards and our right is forward. So we here. So we jump in 1, 2. So what is our answer? Did everybody got that? You got that?
I didn't do it.
What, you didn't do it? Okay, so you start at 0. And our first number that we're starting with is 5. So we go to 5. Our operation says to add, but we're adding a -2 or a -2, if sometimes we would say. So because we're adding a negative, we have to go backward, or you have to go to your left according to your number line. So if we come backward 2 times, we will get to the answer that we need. So we'll do another one so that you can see if you get it right. Yeah. Everybody else okay? Charge. Charge. Light. Okay. So let's do another one. I will use this same number line at the top here. And I will give you the operation. You have 2 number lines you can use. 2 pages. You ready? So I'm going to go to the negative. -3 plus 5. Negative 3 plus 5. Yes. Finish? Lovely. You finish?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, let's go. Where do we start from?
Negative.
Our starting position on the number line 0, and we're going to negative 3. Good. So that's our first number, negative 3, and we're adding how much? 5. So where are we going? Are we going to the left or are we going to the right? Why are we going to the right? Because it's positive. So you sure we can't go to the left? Huh? No? Yes? No, we can't go to the left. So we're going to the right. So we're moving from 3. Let's go. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's our answer? 2. You got 2?
Yes, Miss.
Oh my, charge. Everyone charge. Nice. So our answer is 2. So basically, our directive numbers, when we're adding and subtracting, it's basically negative numbers and positive numbers. And another name you can call that is, anybody can tell me? No. Integers. Integers. Right? You have positive and you have negative numbers. And as when we started, we had both positive and negative numbers on the board. But one question I'd like to ask. The further we go to the left, what happens? What happens to the number?
It gets bigger.
All right, it gets bigger. Why you say it gets bigger?
Because if you count them backwards,
All right, if we count here, we get in what?
7.
What 7?
Negative 7.
Uh-huh.
Negative 8.
So is the number getting bigger?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, before I say anything, let's go here. What is happening to the numbers here?
Positive.
Is it getting bigger?
Yes, Miss.
So both direction you're going in with, you would find that your numbers are getting larger. Agree? No. When you're going, the further you go to the left, your numbers are actually getting smaller. Your numbers are getting smaller. Let me give you an example. If you have $20, right? And you give that $20 away, how much money do you have? Huh? $0. Because you actually give away the $20. And if you're giving away the $20, you are losing it. So say to yourself, I am positive. I am positive. Say to yourself, I am positive. When I owe somebody, I am negative. I am positive. When I owe somebody, I am negative. Right? So every time the number goes further to your left, it becomes smaller. And every time it goes to your right, further to your right, it becomes bigger. Won't it go to 100 and 200? But when it's going to 100 and 200 on your left, it's actually going negatively. It's getting small, small, small. Right? So now that we're here on the number line, and do you think you understand a little about using the number line by adding your numbers? Well, let's subtract some numbers now. What do you think about that? Let me clean the board. Please for a number, Lashmi. 4. 4. Minus. Anyone?
3.
3. Fair enough. Good. So we have 4 minus 3. So let's go. Where do we start? 0. Lovely. Yes. And then we go to positive 4. So now we are at positive 4. What are we doing? We're subtracting 3. So do I go backward or do I go forward? Backward, be sure?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happened?
Mrs. 4.
It's 4.
3.
So only 3 times I have to move?
Yes.
Wonderful. You are observant. So I can't go back more than 3 times. Agree?
Yes.
So if I went back more than 3 times, you can say, no, miss, that is not correct. Right? Don't just allow miss to do what she's doing on board and it's incorrect. So good. So now we went back 3 times. What would be our answer?
1.
Agree, everyone?
Yes.
So how much money you have?
4.
You have $4. How much you owe? $3. So if you have $4 and you owe $3, when you pay, could you pay out that $4?
Yes.
So how much you have left? So you still have $1 remaining, right? So every time you see positive numbers, think about what you have. And when you see negative number, think about what you owe. Good? Let's do one more negative on the number line. Everybody okay with that one, right?
Yes.
Okay, this one is for your number line.
Excuse me, miss. Yes, we're using this one.
Yes, you can use that one. Is this too small? Don't you think? Don't you think this is too easy?
Yes.
It is too easy. So you can even give me the answer without even doing anything. What is the answer?
2.
2? Sure?
Yes.
Yes. So let's go larger. So let's try. How much do you owe?
0.
No. How much do you owe? 4. And how much do you owe here? So what actually happened? I have to give you money. So you owe $4 and you owe $2. So where do I put it on the number line?
Miss, you don't have to.
Huh? I'm start at 0. What was my first number?
4. Negative 4.
Okay, negative 4. Good. So I'm here. And what am I doing now? I'm adding. I'm subtracting. So should I go to the right or the left?
To the right.
If I'm subtracting, I need to go to the right?
No.
Should I go forward or backward? I'm minusing. Huh? I need to go backwards. We puzzle there. All right. So we have -4. That's where we're starting. And as long as we're doing the negative, we're going to the left. So we go -2. So how much do we have? How much do we have? Negative 6. How much money I owe you? I owe you $4. And how much I owe here? $2. So how much in all I owe? I owe you $6. Right? So remember, your negative is to your left and your positive is to your right. Right? So, do we understand that?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Let's try one more. And then we will do it without the number line. Please, for a number that is range on your number line.
4.
You 4
5,
again.
5, 5.
5 positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative 5. Let's go with negative 5. Minus is the operation. How many? 14. We will fall off of our number line.
Miss,
Miss 6.
6. We might still fall off, but let's try. Where do we start?
The point 0.
0. First number?
0.
Yes, and then we go to
4, 5, 5.
which one? Left or right?
Negative.
Left.
Negative 5. Now, where do we go? Backward, left or right?
Left.
Left. How many times?
6.
So we go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So assume we have some numbers there. So what would be the numbers? 8, 9, 10. Well, because we didn't write the numbers properly, we won't see that properly, right? So we have 8, 9, 10. So what would be, and we have a little space that we need. 10. Oh, sorry about the space. So what would be our answer?
Negative
10, 11.
So you owe me $5 and you owe me $6. So how much in all you owe me? $11. All right. So do we think we understand the use of the directed numbers on a number line? So we take off the number line. So let us have bigger numbers. $20 minus 14. How much do you have?
20.
How much do you owe?
14.
So if you pay back the $14, how much would you be left with?
7.
Anybody else? She said 7.
6.
6.
You have
$6.
$6. You have $20. You pay $14 out because you owe someone. How much money do you remain? $6. Great. Let's go bigger. How much money do you have? $35. How much do you have?
$20.
So $35 and $20 would be $55. Very good. How much do you owe?
$20.
So if you pay back a $20, how much you have remaining? $35. And if you can see, what you can see here clearly, that you can actually take out the $20 that you paid. So you have $35 remaining, right? So with directed numbers, we are dealing with numbers with direction and size. Large numbers, small numbers, positive numbers, and negative numbers. So, as I said to you before, when the numbers are positive, what do you call yourself? What do you say?
You,
You have. When the numbers are negative, what do you say? You owe. So if I have $500 and I owe $600, what will happen there?
Negative 100.
You got old person
Owe the person what?
$100.
Good. So if I have $500 and I owe $600, I still owe $100. Good? So, your positive and your negative numbers can simply be deduced by saying to yourself, what is positive, you have. The numbers that are negative, you owe. So it makes your work easier when you have to add and subtract positive or negative numbers. Do we agree? Sure? Did we understand?
Yes.
If we did, charge. Charge and give a big light. Charge again and give a big light. What did you learn today?
How to use a number?
Pardon me?
How to use
How you can use the number line with?
Without
Without
or with the
or without the number line to calculate, to add and subtract what?
big number.
Integers.
I like, okay, directed numbers, but you got to say something else there.
Integers.
Integers that are numbers that are positive and when you're going to your left, what happens to the number?
It gets smaller.
When you go into the right, what happens to the number?
Get bigger.
It gets larger. So, once again, we would like to say thank you very much for being very cooperative in this critical mathematics session. And we do hope that we will see you for another session. Did you enjoy the sessions for today?
Yes.
So give yourself a charge. And this one will be a very large one. Light. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, you all.
Yeah.